Welcome to this episode of the Faster Than Lightspeed podcast. I'm your Captain Kenny with my XO,
Joey.
Joey, how are you today?
Okay.
How are you tomorrow?
So much better.
How about yesterday?
Awful.
Alright, well, we're doing a bit of time traveling today, aren't we? Because today, in this episode, we will be reviewing the full first season of the Marvel Disney Plus show, Loki. And we'll also kind of look into the impact that will have on the larger Marvel universe.
Will there be any?
You'd imagine.
You would think so, right?
But we'll get into that.
At first glance, you think this is a Thanos, the next Thanos. Is it though?
We'll have to see. But first, like we usually do, we'll get into important news. So what sort of news do you have that... Yeah.
Okay. I'll start off with the funnier one. Well, it's funny to us. The viewers do not think it's going to be funny. But Christopher Judge will be playing Black Panther in the new Marvel game. In the Marvel Avengers game. Not new game, but
right.
new expansion.
He was also Teal'c. He was Teal'c in Star Trek, right? Or Stargate, blah.
Yeah.
But he was really, I think his more modern role was Kratos in the latest God of War, right?
Atreus.
Please don't. That's what most people today will probably know him as.
Yeah, for sure.
He was in MacGyver once.
Once.
I feel like he was in something else recently that I can't. He was in Dark Knight Rises as well.
Was he? Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he was like, he had a very minor role.
You pointed it out to me.
Yeah, and the president was the same as in Stargate too.
Yeah.
In that movie. Weird.
Really weird.
That guy only plays the president. I don't know. He doesn't have.
What if that was your casting? Like, who am I gonna play today? The president? Like again?
Again?
Wow.
Yeah. Other news.
Netflix. Okay. Is thinking about expanding into the video game market. And there's rumors with them working with PlayStation.
PlayStation?
Yes.
Are they going to be Gamefly?
Gamefly?
Do you know Gamefly?
I was thinking of Stadia. And it hopefully work this time.
I don't know anything about that.
Do you remember Stadia? In those commercials where it's just them playing and it's like Google getting their foot in? Like their main game, like we're running with Destiny 2. That's our big game.
No.
And it's like so weird because like Destiny 2, we already have Destiny 2. This game's like 2 years old. At that point. Now it's older. It was so weird.
I just know Gamefly, where they would mail you video games.
Yeah, Gamefly. Everybody knows Gamefly.
It's like, I couldn't imagine not like owning a video game.
Yeah.
To only play it for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And then, now you're not playing it. Weird. So is this going to be PlayStation's version of Game Pass then? Is that what you're getting at?
I have no idea. It's interesting to see where this is go.
I don't really know how Game Pass works. Maybe. It just seems like their subscription service, right? Xbox's subscription. So what are you saying? PlayStation wants their own?
PlayStation?
Why can't they just make their own? They need to team up with Netflix?
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like Game Pass. Game Pass, right?
Is this like Game Pass or like Gamefly? That's what I'm trying to understand.
I think it's like Stadia.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Stadia is?
No, I don't know what
Okay,
you're
well, let's
saying.
start with Stadia. Okay, if you want to talk about streaming video games, let's talk about Stadia.
Streaming video games is redundant. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Stadia was something where you did not need any box. You just need to buy the controller and a stick for the TV. Right?
Okay.
Great in concept, but it could not run.
No, how could you run video games through a little stick?
It was like really, really bad. And they were like pushing like it's 60 FPS. It was not. It was like Google step into the market. They just ran ads. Like they had a hard push for it. And then
you're still not really
failed.
explaining. You're explaining its marketing and whatever. You're not explaining how it worked. You're saying it's a stick that you plug in. What do you mean? Was it a subscription-based thing?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
And you also had to buy for the games.
So yeah. And you're not explaining what Netflix is doing.
We don't know what Netflix is doing. They just announced it.
Well,
it's
are they?
speculation.
You sure
time.
it's not just they're selling rights to their shows to be video games? They're not going to make a Stranger Things. Oh, the dog's coming in.
People made it seem like they're making video games.
That's dumb.
And then their PlayStation was later on like rumored to be with them. That's not confirmed though.
All right.
But if they need good video game studios to make Netflix-based games, right? PlayStation can help with that.
It all sounds dumb to me.
It does. Well, we're not buying it. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't care.
But you know what? I'm interested to see where video game streaming goes.
That's just redundant to me. Video game streaming. What does that mean? That doesn't make sense to me. Twitch?
You know how there's like movie streaming, right?
Yeah.
There's movie streaming.
How do you do that with video games? Because you have to install a video game most of the time. That's not streaming if you have to install it.
I know.
And have a...
I know. It obviously doesn't work.
It's not a thing.
Developers don't know that.
People in the industry, though, there's just CEOs. You know how we stream shows and movies. Let's do that for video games.
That's
like
exactly
like,
it. You're now. Now you have it. Now you have
the
it.
devs are like, well, I mean, they're completely different sort of technology. Just do it.
Like you have to.
Doesn't make sense.
Like you're gonna, in order to make this work, you have to pay a subscription and then buy the video games, then have them download. No one wants to do that.
People will just pirate them.
Yeah.
Probably.
Simply nobody, unless like you really want to play this game. You have no PC, you have a TV, and you're willing to buy a controller.
Yeah, it's not about... Alright, it's not about buying a subscription to then buy games. It's about buying the game to then buy a subscription. That's how video games work, guys. Right?
You confused me. You lost
What do
me.
you mean? Like those MMOs, except you don't really buy the game for those.
Is Stadia even still around?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
I bet it's.
Why
I
are
bet
you
it's not
asking
around
me
anymore.
about it?
I bet it lasted like 4 months, and then realized, wow, nobody likes this. Let's turn this off. Rest in peace, Stadia.
Is that like... What was that one streaming thing called?
Mixer.
No, I'm talking about... It was like a... I don't remember what it was called. There was something for your phone that was like a streaming service. That's like... They would film everything to fit your horizontal phone screen.
Oh.
And Quibi. I think that was what it was called.
Quibi.
Yeah, that was it. Do you know anything about Quibi?
We had enough time for a Quibi or something like that, right? That was the commercials. Yes, I know Quibi.
It was like 15 minutes. It had like 15-minute shows and stuff like that. And that went down. I think they blamed pandemic stuff for it failing, but I don't think so.
No.
It's like people needed this. We needed commuters in order for this thing to be a success. Then that killed commuters, basically.
Yeah.
That killed commutes, like morning commutes and good stuff. So they're like, that's what we're blaming it on,
To be
and
fair,
not that. I don't know. Not
to
that,
be fair,
no,
when are you? If you're stuck in your home, you're not just like, let's watch a Quibi on my phone when I have a TV right there.
I don't know, man.
I'm streaming video games might not work for a long time. Just end of story.
Sure. Well, just because it doesn't make any sense.
I know Xbox is trying to figure out how to do Game Pass with it, right? Try to do the same thing.
Well, Game Pass. Well, with Xbox, right? They own those games.
Yes, and you will get those games included for sure.
Does PlayStation own their own like games? They have like deals, like exclusive.
Well, they have like God of War, which is PlayStation.
Is that owned though, or is that exclusive? Those are two different things.
No. I think God of War is owned. Obviously,
I don't know if that's
Insomniac
true.
is partnered because that's Insomniac.
Again, partnered is different than being owned.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
Like-
and being a PlayStation exclusive. That's very different than being owned by
Yeah.
Xbox or Sony or whatever.
I know that. Yeah,
You
I know that.
Like with Rare. Like Rare is the example of that's a studio that Xbox owns, and that they put to their games on Game Pass.
Yeah.
They can market it through that. Like, you get these games with Game Pass when you subscribe. And I don't know if PlayStation, because they would have to be paying those studios for their games and stuff.
They do have a lot of partners.
That into that.
Like Insomniac, who made Spider-Man PS4. That is a partnered game.
Then again, I'm not a business guy. I don't know too much about how that works.
Yeah.
So
I feel bad because I feel like if I was ever going to join the stock market, I'm just going to be investing in just video game companies because I know all the dealings.
No, you don't.
Yes.
No, you don't.
Yes,
you
I
don't
do.
know those dealings.
Yes.
I don't think you do. All right. Well, should we get into the main topic?
You don't want to talk about Stadia?
No.
Rest in peace, Stadia. Once again. Okay.
Rest in peace, Quibi.
Quibi.
All right. So yeah, today we're talking about Loki wrapped up this week.
Yeah.
Because we gave a bit of a review on the first episode,
and
that was a while ago now. What was that? 6-7 weeks ago now.
I think that was in season 1 of the podcast.
So
I think it was in season 1.
So there's been
we're in season 2 right now.
There's been 5 episodes since that one, because this whole season was 6 episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of stuff happened since then. So, I mean, one big thing about this whole show, I guess spoilers for the show if you haven't been watching it, and for, again, Marvel Universe at large.
Go watch Black Widow as well.
Watch Black Widow. She dies.
Whoa.
Whoa.
A funny moment about Black Widow. I didn't see it on the podcast last week, but we said, like, do you think Black Widow's going to die in this movie? Oh, wait, she already did. I was pretty proud of that one in the car.
It's dumb.
But it was true. And my sister's like, please stop.
Stop. I love her. She's my favorite character. And she's dead.
She wanted to be in this week. I said no.
We said no. And yeah.
Imagine if she was here. We could not talk about Stadia for like 5 minutes.
So, should we look back at the episodes? I can open up just like what all the episodes were.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see.
First one might be the best, though.
I would disagree, because a lot of that's like, here's your future past. Right?
Maybe
it's like, this is who you might have become if you didn't pick up that damned Tesseract. You would have died by Thanos in the movie.
Yeah.
Right? Which is like, all right. So the first episode was Glorious Purpose, right? Where, he gets introduced to the TVA. We went over that. You can, if you haven't listened to that, go back and listen to that. I thought about listening to our episode about that.
Yeah, and I made the prediction that they're fighting over Loki from the future that goes back in time. And we had the whole time loop sort of thing.
So basically, though, a lot of the show is where Loki is a part of the TVA. Or that's a good portion of the show. He joins Mobius, Owen Wilson, in hunting down this other Loki. In the first episode, it was really fast. They revealed what this other Loki is. And it's a chick. It's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Of a female variety. That seemed to... Where Loki... Being Loki from the Avengers, right? He has plans to rule the world and the universe and whatnot. This Loki wants to take over the TVA, obviously. That's his first plans. Mm-hmm. This other one just wants to burn it to the ground or something, because she has been wronged by them, along with the rest of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised when they revealed that so fast. I thought it was going to be like end of season, like, oh, it's just him. I think we mentioned that.
Yeah.
And not... we find out that she's like Sylvie.
I remember...
She goes by Sylvie instead of Loki, so you don't have to call the two of them Loki, which, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know when they first announced this actress being in the show, a lot of people were saying, all right, we got female Loki.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were making it seem like Loki would turn into a girl. Like, that's weird.
That doesn't make sense, yeah.
Yeah, that's not really good. But I'm glad that's just another variant, because, whew, And also, how do you feel about Marvel turning all their main characters now just into female other characters? Like Hawkeye's now getting a girl. Like Hawkeye's
it's his daughter, though, right?
I don't think it's his daughter. I think it's just somebody.
No, it's his daughter.
Is it?
I thought so, yeah.
Then we have...
Because you see in Endgame, he was like, they were practicing archery
Yeah.
together.
I feel like,
I think
the
it's his
age
daughter.
wouldn't match up. But maybe they do a time.
Who cares?
Blip.
There's Blip.
She was blipped out.
Right.
So that doesn't work.
I don't think that it's that big of an age difference. Who knows? Or there could have been a time jump. Who knows?
Alright, and now they're making SheHulk.
But that's a character from the comic books.
So is Girl Hawkeye.
Right.
All these characters are characters from the comic books. I
don't know why you're complaining now that
it's just a comic book thing, which is like we have to have Batman, so that means we have to have Batwoman and Supergirl.
Right.
And I feel like the MCU is very much embracing that idea.
Okay.
Like now we're getting Ironheart.
You would prefer just to get new female characters who are just new?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, those don't exist.
Oh,
I don't know, because even like Captain Marvel.
I was just gonna make fun of that. No.
In the original comics, Marvel at some point.
Yeah.
Except in MCU, where it was still a female scientist person.
How do you feel about them? It's everybody's a female now. Like all of our main characters are now just also have female with the exact same powers.
I don't think it's everybody, but I knew that would happen. But that's just how comic books go. We've had Supergirl, the TV show, going for however many years now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's also a show where supposedly Superman does exist in that world.
Mm-hmm.
At that when it first started, Superman still existed.
Yeah.
I still maintain that show would have been better if it was post Death of Superman.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. So you're just wondering, like, all right, where's Superman? All this. Oh, there's an alien invasion. Where's Superman? Where is he? So that's why that show never worked.
Yeah.
And it didn't ever work.
Yeah.
But for this, I don't know. She-Hulk, I'd be somewhat interested in seeing that. I'm surprised they haven't done more Hulks, to be honest. They did Abomination.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Red Hulk yet.
I'm surprised they're doing She-Hulk because She-Hulk is like the one Marvel character that's in complete gray area.
Supposedly that character also breaks the fourth wall quite a bit.
Yeah. Probably maybe a crossover with Deadpool.
Like a Deadpool or a SpiderMan sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's get back to Loki though. I guess that was brought up with Sylvie, right?
Yeah, but just wait before you go on, right? Supergirl is what I'm worried about with the MCU, which is that we're just gonna get female characters that are like, and who cares about the last character that was just like me? Who cares about the old Iron Man when I'm Ironheart?
I don't know.
They have to have good bounce back like Loki did. That's just me.
But you're also talking about characters that there's been a million versions of those characters already, so of course some of them are gonna be females.
Yeah, I know.
Again, like Hulks, or you've got Red Hulk. Or you've got a Spider-Man. There's a billion Spider-Man.
There's Spider-Gwen.
There's a billion Spider-Man. You've got Miles Morales Spider-Man. Yeah, you've got a million of every type of character.
Okay. That's
so, because, you meet female Loki, who is Sylvie, who seems to be Enchantress. Because she can enchant people. And she's going to destroy the TVA. And before she can get to the Timekeepers, they get sent to an apocalypse. They're hiding in apocalypses. And then, so I guess that's twist number 1, right? Is that, female Loki.
Yes.
Which is one that they don't show in a holographic form beforehand or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm still curious. Something they never reveal in the show is whether she is also a frost giant.
The alligator, I think, is a frost giant. I don't think the rest are.
But you know what I mean, right? Because
Loki,
the prime Loki is Frost, son of Laufey, who was adopted by Odin.
Yeah.
Is she? I saw something on a video. Somebody commented about, because there was an episode later where Loki is cold when they're at the end of the time, and it's like, you're a frost giant.
Yeah.
He was just doing that.
I think they forgot about it. I think Kevin Feige totally forgot about it.
But in the show, Renslayer calls him Laufeyson, so they can't have forgotten that.
That's just another word. They don't think much farther behind. Laufeyson, yes, Laufeyson. Because in the TVA, right?
They've
they're
never
like,
called him
magic,
Laufeyson at any other point in this universe.
Your magic doesn't work here. Wouldn't he be blue then?
I don't know. I don't know if that's his magic.
Or does the magic make him blue?
Well, thing is also, I think he turns like, he gets like pink skin when Odin picks him up in that flashback in Thor. I'm fairly certain.
I think you're right.
So I don't know how much of that is magic, other than like, I don't know, he's Loki.
Yeah.
Or it's some sort of natural camouflage. Who knows?
Yeah. Do you think they have? Because like, imagine if they had to paint Loki, right? Tom Hiddleston, hours in makeup chair. Did you hear that the actor who plays Vision, Paul Bettany, he apparently had a massive freak out in the makeup chair for WandaVision? Like, he just couldn't stand it and he freaked out.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how many more movies he's going to be in. But he's not being in that makeup chair for that much longer.
I thought they didn't even have put that much makeup on him in that show. Didn't you watch the behind the scenes stuff?
They're still quite...
They didn't put that much makeup on him, though. They might have put... I remember them putting, like, dots on him. And he barely was in the Vision makeup most of that show, too.
I know.
A lot of the time, he was just Paul Bettany.
I'm just telling you the facts and the news.
I don't know if that's factual.
You think it's wrong?
I don't know.
I didn't put in the news segment because I heard it once somewhere. Who knows if it's true?
Let's get back to Loki.
I want to make this podcast be about all the Marvel shows.
No, we're getting off topic. So you have female Loki.
Yeah, female Loki. We're back here.
And they're in the apocalypse of some planet. And then
we don't need to do a recap. People have watched the show.
Okay.
People watch the show.
Let's get into it then, about how there was a weird, gross romance.
Yeah.
Where these two characters, right, Sylvie and Loki, are... Most people look at them as they're the same person, but just different sexes or gender or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I look at more that they're more like twins. Aren't they? Wouldn't they be... Genetically, they're probably twins. Or they'd be like stepbrothers.
Yeah.
Stepbrother stuff. If she is not Frost Giant, right? Yeah. She could just be Odin's natural born, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? In that universe. Which then leads... They're more like a stepbrother. They're more like step siblings. Which is also still weird.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's something I didn't like about this show. That Loki, I guess, falls in love with Sylvie to a degree. I was hoping... That was more just like a brother-sisterly connection that they were having. Like, oh, because they always said that, all right, Loki never really got attached to anybody or never really cared about somebody. Mm-hmm. This is somebody he cares about, and I didn't think it had to be romantic because I thought it was gross.
Yeah, maybe he should just have
the last episode they kiss, I'm like, oh, great.
What if Loki just like
this is gross.
What if Loki just had a really good dog and it's like, I love this dog, and we got like a John Wick sort of love relationship.
You haven't watched John Wick.
No.
What are you saying?
I've seen the memes, but no. Like, what if he just gets like a really cool dog?
So, I thought that whole thing was gross. Did you have any opinion on that?
Worst part of the whole show. Derailed it all.
Yeah.
I don't know what Marvel was thinking.
I don't understand the whole point of how that was creating a divergence or whatever it was, right?
Yeah, I'm like, which
that works.
Poses the idea that I say, which is maybe they would have gotten off that planet anyway. They would have figured out a way somehow.
I don't know. It was weird though. That was the worst part of the show to me.
Absolutely. If there was one thing in this show that ruined it, would be that. Because it's just so jarring. Like, anybody who thinks about it, like, at all, immediately realizes, like, why is this something that's happening?
Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah.
The next twist is that the TVA consists of variants, which makes sense.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah. I thought the pruning would be how they make variants into TVA people.
Yeah.
Which was weird to me, right? I don't know how... They don't show how they select what variants become TVA people, do they?
I think it's just more so what Loki did. In a way.
But he did it, like, willingly. And in that case, I think Mobius was, like, knew that he needed Loki's, like, memories of being himself to track him down.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, Mobius never, obviously didn't know that they turned variants into TVA people.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah. But I think they just kind of wiped their memories.
But what they never show that, though.
No.
Which I thought was odd.
No. Explain yourself, Kang. We invite Kevin Feige once again on this podcast. Okay? If you're out there, Kevin Feige, we know that you're listening. Have your people contact our people.
What other twists are there? I'm trying to think of other twists, because there's a lot of twists.
Just King the Conqueror being in the show.
Well,
we haven't talked about King yet. That's why.
Yeah, I was saving that for later. Okay, except that he's not King. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
He's not King.
He's
probably Immortus. So, do you just want to get into that then? So then I guess the final twist is because they go the end of we can talk about the end of time real fast too.
Okay.
You got all the three other Lokis, right? You have Kid Loki, who killed Thor, which is interesting, right?
Mm-hmm. You have Boastful Loki.
Boastful, who was the weakest, in my opinion. He had a hammer, but they never explained what the hell that hammer was. Whether that was some weird Mjolnir or...
You had Alligator Loki, which was...
Alligator Loki, pretty good highlight of the show. I wonder if he's I don't know if he existed in the... You saw you saw Throg for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
In like a jar under the earth, which I want to see more.
Yeah. Which we have Richard E. Grant, who was like, this is what you thought how Loki was going to live.
Yeah, because he's one that survived Thanos, and he's like pinnacle of magic for Loki in terms of illusions and stuff. And really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a highlight of that episode, and he sacrifices himself to the Goliath in that episode. He's like, glorious purpose!
That actor wants to come back for his own show.
It's like, here's Asgard! Check out Asgard. I'm making illusionary Asgard.
People really want that actor to come back.
Yeah.
For his own Disney Plus show. I know the actor said that he wants to.
Well, yeah, he could. Now we've got a bunch of branching timelines.
Why, though?
What do you mean?
There's just too much. There's just too much. Do you really want, 4 years from now, you think you're going to care about that character enough to watch another show about him?
Yes. Somebody will.
Somebody will.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person forced to. I guess it's Marvel. I have to watch it. There will come a time where people are just sick of Marvel.
And then Sylvie and Loki enchant. So does Loki know enchantment now?
Apparently he knew it in the original one eventually.
What?
The sacred timeline with Loki, right? The one. Apparently, people say he learned enchantment in Thor Ragnarok. He used enchantment there. I don't remember where, but apparently he did.
When would he have? He doesn't though.
I am just telling you. I didn't watch the video.
No, because in all those, he always had to have the staff in order to enchant somebody, more or less.
No, I'm telling you, it was Thor Ragnarok.
I know, but in all those movies, I don't remember him ever doing that without the stinking staff. Because why would he have needed the staff at any point?
Well, he didn't know it yet. And eventually they added it. I
don't think that's true.
I am curious. I mean, I don't know. I'm just telling you that at one point, Loki does... People have said that apparently he learns in the original.
I don't think that's true.
You're calling those people out?
I've never seen anything about that, though, as well.
Yeah.
I've never seen or heard anything about that, so I'm calling that out.
All right, well, let's watch Thor Ragnarok and let's take a look.
So, we're back from watching Thor Ragnarok. I was right.
No, I was actually right.
No, that's not right. No.
Did you watch Thor Ragnarok? Did you
pause?
We
just did.
No. I'm
asking
the viewer. Hey, the viewer, did you pause the podcast and watch Thor Ragnarok? Did you see it? If not, watch it again.
They didn't, because I'm right. I'm right that he didn't learn enchantment. Except in here, he might know enchantment now. He might. I don't really know. Or it could have just been an extension of Sylvie's enchantment, which I don't know how that works.
No. I think Loki learned.
They enchant the Leviathan. They find the Citadel of Time. And it reminded me of, what was it, Lord Harkonnen's castle from Skyrim, from Dawnguard. I was saying that a lot. Like, oh, it's going to be Lord Harkon, not Harkonnen. I'm saying it like the Dune character. Harkon.
Yeah.
Harkon. I'm like, we're going to get vampire lords. You said Morbius. Well, Morbius, the vampire, shows up. Doesn't happen. We just meet this guy. Just this guy who's in like a purple robe, and it's like, hey, I'm he who remains. And there's a lot of exposition in that last episode.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah, and I guess we didn't get into it, but yeah, they go into the Timekeeper's chamber, and they're just androids, and yeah, you find out that the whole thing's a fake. There's somebody else behind it, and
that's not a plot twist. Everybody expected that to happen.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Very much.
Very much by the second time they mentioned the Timekeepers, like we haven't seen them. We haven't seen the Timekeepers. They're talking about them. We haven't seen them yet, which means something's up.
Very much Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get to the Citadel at the end of time.
Yes, and then there lies, after a jump scare from Miss Minutes, that I didn't jump at, but a lot of people were.
What?
A lot of people freaked out apparently when Miss Minutes showed up. It's like, this is the scariest thing. This is the scariest Loki property. Like the scariest Marvel property, rather.
Okay.
And then, of course, at the end, we've been waiting so long for this character. Mephisto shows up.
No, it's not Mephisto.
Mephisto, right? Played by, what was his name? Who plays Mephisto in this show?
Nobody knows.
Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire plays Mephisto, reprising his role.
So
I'm gonna keep mentioning Mephisto in the show, so you have to keep in the bit. Okay?
So we meet He Who Remains, who is supposedly the one that ran the Timekeepers. He has the transcript of the entire show. He had the script up until a certain point. He's like, you either kill me. You know, I've been called many things. I've been called a conqueror. Hint, hint. Who I am.
Yes.
I have the script for this show, so I know everything that has happened or was going to happen or whatever up until this point, in which you can either kill me, and you should probably take up the TVA and make sure that there's no alternate timelines and garbage.
Mm-hmm. How would that work though? I mean, the minute he killed, like, was he supposed to take over the TVA and still be alive?
Who?
Like, I'm curious on how they would take up the TVA. Just sit in their room instead?
They would just go back and be like, hey, we're running the TVA now. Or just try to explain it to people. I don't know. But it did happen really fast.
Yeah, like, the minute they killed him, everything just started branching out. I was like, was there really an option here?
Probably if they were both there and they started using that time travel device that he had, right?
I'm guessing they would have had to keep him alive a bit longer than you'd think, and he would
or
explain
it would have
the
been
rest.
that happens because they don't do it.
Yeah.
Like they would have had to make the decision there and then, and be like, "We're taking it up," and then they fulfill. And if they then fulfilled,
yeah. I mean, it's time travel.
Time travel sucks.
It's time travel. It's time travel.
This whole thing is weird because it's all linear somehow. It's like all still linear time travel concepts.
Yes.
Which doesn't make sense when this should all be outside of time. So all of this should be happening at the same time almost. So I don't know how he can predict whatever BS that is.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Time travel, broken.
So He Who Remains, he's kind of described, he was a 31st century scientist, right? Something like that.
I mean Mephisto. You just keep on saying He Who Remains, but you mean Mephisto.
He might be Nathaniel. There's been people have been relating him to Nathaniel Richards. Do you know who that is?
No.
That's generally king. But do you know who Nathaniel Richards is a descendant of? No.
Mr. Fantastic.
Reed Richards, yeah. Exactly. So
who's the actor who you want to play? Reed Richards?
Nobody knows.
No. The guy from The Office.
I don't know.
What was his name?
So, but yeah, I think it's pretty much said that this is.
Oh my gosh! I'm sorry, fans.
Kind of a variant of Kang the Conqueror, which a lot of people were wondering, like, oh, a lot of people guessed that King would kind of show up. So this might be I'm guessing that, or from how I'm understanding it, this was the King, or whatever his name is, from the Prime timeline. And now that there's going to be a bunch of other timelines, it's just altering who the guy is that's doing the time travel.
Yeah.
I think I read something about what the actor said. He said that this character isn't really Kang. He's probably more of an Immortus, which is very similar. I read a little bit about him, but he's like a Kang that was trapped in limbo time for a long time. So that makes sense. So, but basically, what I'm gonna call him, we can call him Kang. He who remains.
Obviously, it's not Kang. Kang is later on.
But
Kang is gonna be an Ant-Man and the Wasp, for sure.
He warns that, hey, you kill me, there's gonna be a bunch of variants of me. Those are who I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of myself, or a ton of myself.
Yeah.
Because he really reveals that, hey, that interdimensional war we were talking about, that Miss Minutes talked about?
Me.
It's me. It's just me and different versions of me that
Yes.
try to kill each other all the time. It's like, all right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not great. Yeah.
And he single-handedly almost destroyed all of existence.
Yeah.
All the multiverses.
Yep. So that leads me to wonder, what other versions of Kang might we see? So we see at the end that I'm thinking Loki. So Loki gets not pruned. He gets sent to the TVA by Sylvie. Sylvie betrays him because she can't trust or something after they kiss, which is gross.
No. What was I heard something like this where
I think it's
Loki cannot be trusted and Sylvie cannot trust.
Right. Yeah. So it's paradoxical, or it's just it would never work out between them because it's gross.
And because it's gross.
Because it's gross. So yeah, Sylvie sends him back to TVA, or at least that's what you think. I think because you see Mobius doesn't recognize Loki at all, and they see a statue of Kang. It's Kang. That's what that statue is. That's the costume that Kang wears. I mean, the costume, yeah. He just doesn't have the blue face and the purple helmet.
Which is what I'm saying is, do you think we're going to see a variant of Kang that is just purple?
He's not purple, though. He's never purple.
Or blue. Blue,
yeah. If he's purple, then you're talking about Thanos.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't have two purple villains.
Can't have two grimaces.
Yeah. Do you think one of the Kangs is going to be blue?
Maybe. I don't know. That could
just for whatever reason.
They could be saving that Kang for Quantumania.
I mean, that's Kang for sure.
You'd think.
Because that's what they say is this character's playing Kang the Conqueror. And if it's this is not actually Kang the Conqueror, it's some other variant of Kang, I think people are going to be upset.
I don't know. It could end up being a dark side thing.
You think
there's only one dark side throughout all the multiverse. So if he fights dark side, it's the dark side from that other world too. Which I think is cool.
Do you think, we're going to see some weird variants of Kang? We're going to have Alligator Kang?
No, it's not Alligator King. I found this out on the wiki.
Oh.
On the wiki.
Oh.
So we saw Alligator Loki. So in the universe of SpiderMan.
Oh, yes.
Will we see Kangaroo the Conqueror?
That is the greatest thing. That is the greatest thing I've ever heard of.
Kangaroo the Conqueror?
Yes.
So that's that. Yeah. It's not Alligator King. It's Kangaroo.
Yeah. But, yeah. All these different...
I hope so. I hope we see that. I don't know. I don't think we will, but... Because, again, that's Spider-Ham, which Sony might own or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
By the way, the multiverse truly in madness.
So, yeah, now
as I've been saying this whole time.
But like we said, I'm pretty sure we said is that it's going to end with multiverse being made, which is fairly obvious because it seemed like everything after this point is going to be based on that, whether it's Doctor Strange or SpiderMan. It seems like it's all going to be based on multiversal stuff.
Yes.
So it made sense that this had to break the Prime timeline.
Yeah. Which I have a theory about Spider-Man that I kind of want to say right now. If you mind.
What?
I don't think Andrew Garfield's coming back.
I don't think anybody's really coming back.
Tobey Maguire probably will. If you show him enough money.
If you have Tobey, I hope Tobey Maguire is Uncle Ben. That's what Tom Holland said he wanted at some point.
Yes, but if they have him just play Uncle Ben, people are gonna like that. But if they don't have Tobey Maguire come back to play Spider-Man, people are gonna be flipping chairs.
No, I don't
in
think
anger.
so.
They'll be rioting. People are gonna be so upset.
I don't think so.
They have already the perfect Spider-Man movie built up in their minds.
I don't think so.
Andrew Garfield, I don't think is coming back, but I think Emma Stone is. To play Spider-Gwen.
But she's Cruella.
Yeah, she's too busy playing Cruella. You're right.
So I mean, that's really the end of Loki, right? Yeah. I think with the very ending, with him being trapped on I think it's another TVA. I think there's gonna be a lot of different TVAs that might be warring with each other now. Like all the other conquerors or whatever are gonna take notes from his book and make their own TVAs or something.
Which I don't understand the Loki thing, by the way, because Sylvie pushed Loki in, right? Before the time was changed.
Mm-hmm.
Which, wouldn't he be in the only TVA that existed at that singular point?
It's time travel.
Which makes me believe that there's only one TVA.
Oh.
And that TVA changed. That's what I was thinking. Otherwise, I would agree with you. We talked about this a little bit before. And after more thorough thought, only one.
Time travel.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Never makes sense.
Yeah.
Again, this whole show's time travel, I still think makes no sense. Because the TVA is in some form of linear time.
Mm-hmm.
When it should be like... TVA should be like the Bajorn wormhole.
Yeah. Well, if they want history not to repeat itself, which it seems like it probably will be, does Loki and Sylvie have to?
Yeah.
Do something?
I don't know. So, I mean, one thing about this that... Because they say in there that season 2, there will be a season 2.
Which we've known all along. People are only talking about it now. We knew this the whole time.
I don't want to see even more Loki variants, to be honest. I'm a little Loki'd out.
We need Kangaroo the Conqueror.
Yeah, I'm a little burnt out on Lokis.
You can only do so much.
Only do so much with that.
You can only have him fake his death however many times.
Yeah, just have different people wearing different horns.
Hot take though. Hot take. Tom Hiddleston Loki could have just died when he was pruned.
Yeah, you would have just watched the rest with Sylvie or whatever.
Yep, just Sylvie.
Maybe.
Tom Hiddleston though did say he is totally willing to play Loki for the rest of his life.
Okay.
That won't happen. Just saying it won't happen.
I don't know, man.
But he said he will do it. And as we talked about in the podcast, they said that they're not going to do these long movie contracts. They're just going to be doing it movie by movie. And if Tom Hiddleston says, yeah, I can do another one, then it's just going to keep going forever.
I don't know. You'll have to see. Do you have anything else to talk about Loki?
About Loki? Do you think Mephisto's going to show up in season 2?
No. I don't care about Mephisto.
No, but like, you know how at the end at the castle, right, we had Mephisto. Do you think he's showing up for season 2?
No.
Don't cut out my bits. Don't cut my bits. Everything you wrote on that piece of paper was my stuff. You have to keep it all in. All in. Even the sounds of just us staring at each other. All in. You better not cut any of it.
Did you see the concept art of Doctor Strange's like sorcerer costume?
No.
It's like kind of black and gold. It's like a black with gold trim with some sort of big blue symbol on it. and he might have like magic web shooters or something.
Oh,
It's like new dad, new suit.
sure.
He has his new dad, Doctor Strange.
Do you think the Eternals is going to tie in to this?
No,
Really?
not at all.
Because Eternals should have came out first.
I don't think it will at all.
Spider-Man was also supposed to come out. Wait, no, it wasn't supposed to come out first. We just talked about this. Spider-Man was supposed to come out.
Yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday, July 16th. So the show would have been over by then.
Sure.
Interesting. Interesting to think about.
Sure.
So I guess they could have tied in Spider-Man with this. They did say that there's a lot of rules to the multiverse, like a lot of room not to go into.
What?
Apparently, the MCU, right? Kevin Feige and all the directors of all the new movies talked about the rules of the multiverse, what not to do and what to do.
Okay.
And I think that's pretty interesting.
Okay.
They're being very strict about what is allowed and what's not allowed.
Okay.
Do you think, right? How do you top Endgame, right?
Empire.
Huh?
Empire.
What do you mean Empire?
You do Kid Hulk.
Okay.
There's like Kid Hulk. And he unites the Kree and the Skrull empires. And he creates Empire. And it's him conquering the universe. That's what you do.
I was gonna say, all the multiverses like combine for like the final boss, which is King the Conqueror, and you get like Tobey Maguire, the X-Men. They could do it. They could do it.
I don't know.
Classic Blade, current new Blade that's gonna come out.
Or you could do Galactus.
I'm hoping we get Galactus. I don't know if I want to just talk about the multiverse forever.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Galactus.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I'd prefer if they just stay on Earth.
No.
But I know a lot of people don't want that.
No, they gotta turn it into Star Wars now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's becoming too much.
We still haven't seen anything about what the hell Adam Warlock is gonna be. There's been nothing about Adam Warlock, which is weird.
Yeah. There's a lot of characters in the MCU we just haven't seen them again.
Or just really ever. But
Yeah.
there's been teases towards.
Yeah, where's Justin Hammer?
I can't think of any more. I'm just saying like ones that have been teased but not revealed.
What's the one guy in Doctor Strange 1? It's like, we need to get rid of all the...
Mordo.
Yeah, Mordo. Mordo was basically teased and just not seen of again.
Right. Supposedly he might be in Shang-Chi.
We saw Lady Sif in the show. That was like an episode that we didn't watch together.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about her coming back?
Kind of interesting. We're still not sure if she's alive in this world. Supposedly she might be in Love and Thunder. But
Because people keep on asking, where is Sif? It's Lady Sif. Where is she?
Sif, yeah.
We need to know where she is. Where is she? We want to see her. It's like, did anybody care about this character? Like, ever?
Yeah, people cared about her. She was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. once or twice. And yeah. And it was just weird that she wasn't in Ragnarok at all. And then people were like, what happened? After all the other minor heroes there died.
Yeah.
Just like stabbed real fast.
Uh-huh.
But she's like wasn't there, which makes everybody wonder, what happened to her.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't there. She wasn't on the Thanos ship. She just was nowhere to be found. Except now, suddenly she's on a time loop, and you're left to wonder.
Yeah. When I was like, it's like, I was expecting some more bigger cameos in this show. I mean, we got King the Conqueror, obviously, but Lady Sif and King the Conqueror was kind of it.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting, like, we're gonna see like Thor show up in this show.
I would have thought maybe a Thor variant, at least a variant of Thor. They didn't have to get Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. What if it was just
I'm not
fat
surprised
Thor,
that
and then
they
Loki's
didn't...
like, what happened to you?
Oh, yikes. Yeah. It would have been interesting. There's stuff that they could have done. They can still do a ton of stuff now.
Yeah.
Because now they don't have to just do variants that didn't get their own timeline. They can get ones that fully lived out lives as variants.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be interesting in terms of that show.
And then we got Marvel What If now.
Right.
Do you think they're gonna totally mess with this idea.
I don't know. What If seems more like the Watcher.
I think they have, what's his name, playing the Watcher? Peel or something?
Stanley.
No, it's not Stanley. They have an actor set up for the What If series. Some pretty cool dude, I think. Some guy that I can see it playing that role.
I have no clue. I think we'll wrap up there though with our Loki talk.
They did cast like a Watcher show, but out of all the shows,
so what do you give season 1?
Just wait. I'm so
oh
talking
my
to you.
gosh!
The 3 shows, right? You got WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Loki.
Mm-hmm.
How would you rank them?
Oh, I don't know. They're all pretty even to me.
Really?
In terms of what they were going for, yeah. This one was shorter than the rest, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It felt shorter than the rest. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
This Loki's the best one, though, right?
Maybe if it's very slightly the best one. If I like it better than Falcon and Winter Soldier.
This is the only one out of the 3 Marvel shows I give a 1 so far.
Really? So you give this a 1 binary scale.
Yes.
I will give it a 1 as well.
Yes.
So a 3.
Yes.
Score of 3.
Yeah, as long as we get that Lightning McQueen cut, then I think everything will be fine, right? Don't cut my segment about the Lightning McQueen cut. All right, so we have
upcoming podcast news. I have no clue what our next episode's going to be. We have to think about that.
We got Superman and Lois winding down soon.
Supposedly there's going to be another 3-week break between episodes.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how they can keep doing that. They finished filming for the season, too. And they're still doing these 3-week breaks.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
That actually...
So that's still a while until we do a full season 1 review of Superman and Lois. Which, still, really strong show.
Really good.
Really strong show. I think there's 3 episodes left with that, but they keep taking these month-long breaks.
I think there's 2.
No, there's 3.
There's 3?
Yeah.
No, well, there is one this next Tuesday, the 20th.
Yeah, I think it was a 3-week break between 13 and 14. So after this next one,
oh my gosh,
it's gonna be like a month-long break.
Smooth brains at CW. This is why nobody's watching you anymore.
So there'll be that. So we've still got time before we can even do that, if we ever do. What other? Yeah, I'm not. What episode should we do next week? Do you have an idea?
Well, I have a couple ideas. Obviously,
realistic ideas.
Halo. I've been playing the Halo games. So we can just talk about Halo.
I kind of want to save that until we get closer to Infinite.
Totally fair.
But we'll see.
So Return of Starbuck, we could do.
Nope, we're not doing that.
The Amazing Spider-Man movies, we could go watch those. That would be fun.
We'll consider
that would be a lot of fun.
I'll consider that because, like you said, Spider-Man was supposed to come out, so maybe we could do that.
Yeah.
But that's also 3 Marvel things back to back.
Yeah, we should give it some breather.
Maybe give it a breather.
We're kind of in the dry area.
How many episodes
of
Bad Batch do we have?
What?
How many more episodes of Bad Batch do we have?
Oh, I don't know. It's about time, I think, for another Star Wars episode, though.
I think Bad Batch could be wrapping up. If that wraps up this next week, we might do that.
I don't think it's wrapping up. Not yet.
They've had quite a few episodes, though. I think they could. I don't know. But yeah, we've got to put some thought into the next episode. So tweet at us or comment what episode you guys want next. We still have to do the next part of our Star Wars historical stuff.
What?
Because we did Fall of the Republic, right?
Well, yeah, which I did not think was a good episode, but you liked it.
We would do the sequel of that.
I did not think that was a good one.
If you guys want another why you should, we can do that as well.
We could just do a podcast episode about why The Last Jedi is more hated than it should be. And then lose all of our viewers.
I'll lose all 10 of our viewers that we have currently.
Hey, we have 12 subscribers.
No, I think we only have 10.
Go look it up right now. Look, we got time in the podcast. This is what, guys, everybody thinks we're winding down.
I'm going to write this down just in case. Yep, it's 11.
11.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch the video about Deadpool and Korg reacting to something?
I listened to it. Well, you know what? I did watch it.
Okay.
I did watch it. Because so many people were talking about it. Like, Deadpool's big debut. And man, Disney truly does own everything.
All right, I think we're going to wrap it up then. Unless you had other ideas for episodes, but I think we're going to have to think of something over the week.
We'll think of something very fun.
Yep. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Faster Than Lightspeed podcast. Check us out on Twitter and subscribe to us on YouTube. Share this link with your friends, please. I think our last episode did fairly well.
We need to get on Spotify. The minute we get on Spotify, that's where
we're
we
still
grow.
working on our website, or we're getting that worked on. And once we get that, we can put this up on more platforms. Yeah. Well, this has been your Captain Kenny with my XO,
Joey.
and this has been the Faster Than Lightspeed podcast.